Hi everyone, this is Yaolin and welcome to my in-depth tactics guide for Football Manager 2020. In this video, I'll be showing you guys how to make a tactic from the very scratch. I've chosen to use Bournemouth as the team for this video, as they have a few fairly good players such as Jefferson Lerma, Nathan Kay, Callum Wilson, even Fraser, Cook and Josh King. But they're definitely not a top team, so we will have to do some tailoring in terms of the tactic to get the very best out of our players. But as this guide is fairly in-depth, we got no time to lose. So let's get straight into the video. Okay, so the first thing I always do when I take over a new club or I want to make a completely new tactic from scratch is to take a look at the best players in the squad. So let's check out like a few of our best players to get like a certain feeling of how the team could play. First up we have Jefferson Lerma, which is the highest rated player in the squad by our assistant. You can of course use I'm using my own view, but if you use the report you get the ability sorting. So yeah, Jefferson Lerma is a box-to-box bowling type midfielder. He has excellent tackling, work rate, stamina, fitness. Yeah, he's just a really good ball-winning midfielder, which he can handle the ball somewhat. His first touch is 12, not amazing. Passing 13, vision. Yeah, teamwork is good. Okay, so he's a all-round midfielder that excels in the defensive part of the game. We have Ryan Fraser, which is a all-out winger. He plays all four wing positions fairly well. He's super quick, great crossing, all round fairly okay. Nathan Kay, most definitely a ball-playing defender. He's got good acceleration, meaning maybe we could play high line with him. He's not the best in the air, so again, high line. He can play in the defensive midfielder role as well. I guess he's an alright halfback. Okay, not excellent out wide. Callum Wilson, probably the biggest star of the team. Classic advanced forward. Could play as a poacher as well, but he's like the number 9 for our team, no doubt. Super quick, fairly strong, great work rate, amazing finishing, some good player prefer moves as well. Josh King, another striker slash winger. Yeah, this isn't a star. He's alright, but okay. So we got like these 4 players that gives us an idea of how good our team can be, what our strengths can be to play around. So I always do this. I look at maybe the 3 to 5 best players in the squad, see what their strengths are, and take a note in my head of how to build around them. Okay, next thing I do is I go to the comparison tab. It's under team report and it's comparison. And then you can see how you stack up compared to the rest of the league. Because that's very important to know. Knowing your own team strengths is good to know how you should play, but you play differently if you compete for the title or if you want to avoid relegation. This is just not super useful for tactics. Okay, let's look at our goalkeepers. They're good at 1v1s, their reflexes are good, and their agility is good. They're bad at playing out from the back. Okay, this to me looks like another sign of playing high line. We got fairly quick defenders. We have goalkeepers that are really good 1v1. Oh, this isn't amazing. Okay, terrible defenders in the air. Like, okay, respectable how quick they are. Positioning is okay as well. medium strength. Okay. Midfielders are even worse. Their passing is bad. So maybe we're looking at more of a ball-winning type midfield, using our wingers more, because we already have seen Fraser. Interesting. Okay, because this is a technique of 13. We're almost worse than league in terms of midfielder technique. Strikers, quickest in league. Definitely. Great finishers. Okay, yeah. Going behind the opponent defense. And just physical, yeah, we're quick. Fairly strong. Our mentals are poor, and our technique is... Our crossing is good. Again, maybe we should play out wide. Okay, so the last thing I do before starting the tactic is I go to the division we're playing in. We're currently playing in the Premier League. And I go to season preview and I look at our odds and projected placement. We're projected 15th. We seem to be a lot better than the bottom 5 teams because of the odds. So we're like a lower half team, but looking at this, if you played right, you could possibly contest for being top half. Would have to have a great season, but anywhere between like 11th and 15th seems reasonable to me. Okay. Let's move on to the next part. Okay. The next part of making a tactic is deciding what philosophy, or as Football Manager calls it, tactical style that you want to play. And for this edition of Football Manager, they've added these little icons where the assistant says what styles he believes to be the best for your team. So that can be very helpful for newer players. And say we press wing play, for instance, which is something we're considering. He says, okay, here's an explanation of how it plays, some team instructions, short explanation, and you can choose a formation. You can go like, okay, like this, and they put the, I don't know why it says unknown, maybe a bug. Yeah, it puts the recommended roles for your players as well. So these are super helpful for making a tactic. You got park the bus, super defensive. We just don't want to concede, and then you have Catenaccio, which it's also a very defensive position. It's not used very much in modern football, but they use libero, which falls below the defensive line to catch any runs, but it's also kind of the playmaker of the team. Direct counterattack, quick football, just go straight ahead, catch them on the break. Fluid counter, similar, but requires more technique. Yeah. Route 1, good old smash it up on your super big target man. Not used that much anymore, but okay. I guess Newcastle used it a bit in the Premier League. Then you have wing play. You use quick technical wingers or wing backs to play through the wide areas and make the pitch as large as possible. Vertical tiki-taka, it's become really popular the last maybe 5 years, 10 years. We have people such as, I don't remember his name, but the Leeds manager, which is like one of the main people for this. You had Sarri, which, while he didn't get huge success at Chelsea, still played the vertical tiki-taka to enormous success everywhere else he's been. And yeah, and you have the classic tiki-taka, more of the Barcelona of old, where it's all around just passing the ball, and as soon as you see the opening, then you go for the move. Gegenpress, super famous through Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp currently, where you constantly press, you play high tempo, high octane football. You just stop the opposing team from being able to play their game. And then you have the classic control possession. Super straightforward. You want to keep the ball as much as possible. You try to like break down your opponent's defense, but without super much rotation in terms of positioning or like super high tempo. It's more classic, just my players are better technical players than yours. Okay, but for this video, since the guide is in depth, I want to just create my own style and take everything from the beginning. So let's just go in with a straight 4-4-2, and I'll see you guys at the next part of the video. Okay, so we have decided our philosophy. Well, we haven't, but now you have normally decided your philosophy, and it's time to put the team instructions into place. We'll combine this with also deciding our philosophy, because we didn't earlier. So let's get straight into it. This is where you take what you learn from looking at our top players, looking at the comparison, and where we're going to place in the league. So let's start by doing our mentality. We're somewhere at the bottom half of the table, meaning I think cautious might be the way to go. This isn't always right, of course. Sometimes you might play high risk, high reward, even though you're going for a bottom half finish. Of course, you're never going for a bottom half finish, but you know what I mean. Okay, in possession, we have good wingers. I think we want to play wide. We want to focus play downsides, but we have good all playing defenders, meaning pass out of defense. There's a lot of discussion on should you change like everything. I personally like to do a lot of changes, but I'm very micromanagey in how I like to manage a team. Some people want to like, okay, they may be okay, more direct, standard, wider, and play out of defense. Some would do this and say, okay, done with in possession. Some wants to, okay, we play wide, pass out of space, we want to underlap right because of our inside forward on that side, we want to overlap left, but our midfield is super good centrally, hitting the early crosses, but they need to be floated, and if we play for set pieces, yeah, you get the point. Some people do it like this. I think I'm somewhere in the middle, but everything is totally fine. But let's focus back on this one. We'll be going wide. We're playing out of defense, focusing here. Our passing isn't amazing. I don't want to go super direct, so I'll just keep it on standard and slightly higher. Our crosses, I'll keep it on mixed. Pass into space, definitely our strikers are super quick. And I don't know how our flair is. We'll be able to change this later if we want to, of course. So I'll keep it like this. But if our players have a lack of flair, discipline might be better. Okay, in transition, we have a lot of good ball winning players, high work rate, so counter press is good and counter is good because quick players. Our goalkeepers seem to be poor at distributing, so I'll distribute to center backs because they're good with the ball. This isn't super important. Then it's about the line. We'll keep it higher. I think we press higher as well. We can be more compact by pressing. We're pressing like urgently, but we're waiting a bit to start our press. We keep a higher line, meaning our team would be way more compact. I think offside trap is very risky unless you have super intelligent defender, so we'll keep it like this for now. Our defenders aren't super good in the air either, so allowing them to do short distribution and then pressing them, I think is better for us. Okay, this is a good start, so let's move on to the next part of our video. Okay, now we're finally supposed to actually put players into our system. We'll be doing the player roles and see how the positions interact with one another. So let's start by putting in the players we looked at earlier, like the best players in our squad. So I'll just sort by ability to find them. We have Callum Wilson, definitely our striker. We have Ryan Fraser playing on one of the wings. He's right-footed, yeah, so I'll play him here for now. Nathan Ake, definite center back. Jefferson Lerma in the midfield. Okay, let's look at the most basic things. How many good center backs do we have? Do we have like 3 amazing center backs? Looking at this, I don't think so. Because we have to decide whether we want to play 2 at the back or 3 at the back. How's our fullbacks? It's Adam Smith, Jack Stacey. Very quick. Also very quick. On left we have... Oof. Okay, we're not super... We have Charlie Daniels, which is all-round alright left back. And we have Diego Rico, which is... Yeah, he's fairly quick. And Lloyd Kelly, which is a youngster, which is somewhat same type player to Charlie Daniels. Okay, we'll put in Steve Cook here. I think we want to play Adam Smith. He looks better. Okay. In terms of midfield, who else do we have? We have a lot of okay midfielders, it seems. Lewis Cook. He's a ball-playing midfielder. We have Philip Billing, which is more of a ball-winning. Maybe a box-to-box, yeah. Dan Gosling. He's a... Yeah, box-to-box as well, probably. High work rate, good stamina. And we have Andrew Sherman, which is more of a playmaker. Still alright work rate, but... Okay, we'll be playing Lerma in a ball-winning midfielder position, I think. So I want him to press here. Fraser will play in either of these 2 positions. Wilson definitely playing as an advanced forward. I want to play double ball playing midfielder. Both are good with the ball. Both are... I mean, Ake is a lot quicker, but... We could play wing back. He seems to be a wing back type player, but Fraser already plays on the wing. So I'll put him on fullback attack for now. And I'll probably mirror the other side. Play Fraser on a winger attack and whoever this is. See which players are good. Because we have Harry Wilson, which is very good technically, but he can't play down on the left wing. This guy, Danjuma, seems alright on left wing. See, yeah, because Harry Wilson plays here. Of course, if I was going to continue this save, I probably would have considered training Harry Wilson playing on left hand side of midfield. Because our right side is good. We have John Ibe. I'll give him more training, but he works just fine. As a backup for Fraser. Brooks, exciting young talent. Also great. Yeah. We're definitely playing a flat 4 or flat midfield. I'll play him. I'll put in Harry Wilson. We could do something like this. Sorry about that. And then we'd play... We'll put something like a deep line playmaker here. probably Sherman. As you can see, it's making a tactic is a process, especially when you don't know your players yet. So okay, let's just put Billing in for now, and then we'll play Charlie Daniels, and our goalkeeper is, yeah, the goalkeeper position is actually really exciting over at Bournemouth. The first touch isn't amazing. Once, I think Boric's acceleration is a bit low for now. Okay, so this looks like a good baseline for a team. It's winger focused, hardworking midfield, Callum Wilson advanced forward, both playing out from these three, and yeah, I think that's very good. So let's move on to the next part of the video. This is the next big part about building our tactic. We've set up a system we think works, but we have yet to see it in action. So in this part, we're going to be assessing some gameplay. I've set up a friendly against my own under 23 team. So we'll just start by selecting the best team available, and then I'll show you guys exactly how I assess the gameplay. Okay, so the thing is, when you get into game, it's important to see all the details. This isn't about looking for chances like we normally do. So there's two ways I do this. I always watch at least one full half. I usually put it to like one of the fastest. I'll play, but I either use 2D Classic or data analysis. So let's try data analysis for now. I will be looking at different parts of the pitch and different like synergies between position roles within our system at different times, so it can be very useful to take notes while doing this, and then so you can remember everything for when the match is finished. So for now, I'll just start playing. I'll fast forward through this. If there's anything interesting I discover, I'll slow it down and you can see what I think. Okay, I thought I'd mention this. The reason I've currently made a case name like visible isn't just a random misclick. It's because his position as the central defensive midfielder in our system is very essential to how we play, both in the build-up and in the defensive positioning. So I really want to see how he positions according to the central defenders and the central midfielders. So far, I'm kind of impressed with how it looks, but I'll keep watching this one position interact with the ones around it. Okay, so I've noticed one thing so far that I'm gonna write down in my notes, and if you notice the same type of stuff, you should write it down too. But I've been noticing that when we're on attack, our fullbacks and our wingers are occupying a lot of the same space. So I'm thinking taking our defenders back to support to have them lay more as a passing option instead of like occupying the same space. So I'll write this down. Just quick, like full backs to support. Something quick like that. And then I'll go back to watching the game. Okay, so we just got a red card, which makes this a lot more difficult. Yeah. So analyzing a match with a system when you have to play with one less player, not very good. So I'll probably take what I've learned from this match and just use that. But for now, I'll probably just skip through the rest of this match, and then I'll see you guys at the next after the match. Okay, so then the match is done, and even though we didn't get as much data as we hoped from this match, it's time to move on to the next stage, which is adjusting the details. We have to use what we just learned. So let's take a look at the thing that was clearest to me. It was the fact that our fullbacks were pushing too far up the pitch, getting in the same positions as our wingers. So I'll move them back a bit. In terms of just the team instructions, I didn't see anything that seemed like a super issue. So I'll play this for now. I'm considering pulling the line of engagement back a bit, but we'll see. I'll do one more match. I'll do the same thing, go into a bit more detail on another way where you can figure out data, but it's easier after a full completed match. Okay, welcome back. We're into another match, and I managed to get a friendly against Tottenham. I think it's even better to test the tactic against teams that are around your level, or at least the level of the division you're playing in. So testing our tactic, even though it's a friendly, against a team like Tottenham is perfect for us, because then we can more clearly see the actual weaknesses of our system. So I'll do this on 2D this time, since I did 3D last time, and I'll just go into analysis and you guys can see what I do. I speed it up, but I'll pause if I see something important. So yeah, let's get back into it. I've noticed one more thing that I might want to change. It's the central midfielders. I might want them to push into the box as I get into positions for crosses. This is something I probably can't change by changing player roles, as I want them to play as ball-winning midfielders. So that we can change with player instructions. Actually, I'm going to do this now to see. I'm pretty sure you can tell them to get further forward. Yes. So I'm going to try to change both my central midfielders to get further forward to see how that looks in game. That's when the team has the ball, get further forward. Otherwise, I'm really liking what I see. Even though we're down, we're creating tons of chances, and the tactic looks real good. But we'll do this and we'll watch until halftime, and then I'll talk to you again. Then we're into halftime, and I'm just gonna watch through the rest of the match. but you guys don't have to watch that part with me. So I'll meet you guys after full time. Okay, then the match finishes. We did lose 1-0, but we had a lot of quality chances, and I still really liked what was happening. As you can see, Callum Wilson missed tons of shots that was in fairly good positions. But the thing I wanted to show you guys is the last way to analyze a match, which is less time consuming, and you might notice something you don't notice while looking at the game, and it's the analysis tab. It's here, it's while you're in game, it's there, and while you after the game you can look as well. So this is like the main page. You can see how the team's positioned and the heat map. You can clearly see we played down the wings and out from the back fairly much, but most of our touches were on the wings. You can go on summary, where you can see, for instance, who got our shots. Callum Wilson, almost all the shots. Passes. Actually, this isn't the best place to see passes, because there's, I think it's here. Nope. This is where you can see where the most combinations were. You can see the most common passing combination was Charlie Daniels to Harry Wilson, left back to left winger. The second one was central defender to left back, and then it was left back to central defensive midfielder, left back to striker, and then goalkeeper. As you can see, our central midfielders are barely involved in these. This is the first time our central midfielder, Lewis Cook, is involved, and our other midfielder, Andrew Sherman, is here. It's really clear to see that our team plays out from the back to our central defenders, out to the fullbacks, and then to the wingers or striker. So that's something you can notice there. You can also see in the summary page, you can see stuff such as, I was going to click that, who had the scoring chances. Callum Wilson, we already knew that. Interceptions. And yeah, more stats that might be useful for you. So just play around with the analysis tab, and you might learn a thing or two. So I'll just go to the tactics screen and wrap up this tactic. Because it's important to remember that any changes you make inside a match isn't saved. So I found out I want my midfielder to get further forward. I could have tested it and it could have been worse, but I figure out it's better. So this is what we came to after watching 1.5 game, and I'm happy with it. But it's important to remember that even evolving your tactic is never completely finished, because every game is an opportunity to look for ways to improve your tactic. And it's also important to remember that even though this is how I make a tactic, it's not the only way to make it, because this is Football Manager and there's definitely not any rights or wrongs. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.